Welcome back to A Moment with Elizabeth. I'm Elizabeth Dawson, and the topic that came up about this conversation is about if you're expecting a child. One of the mentions out there is to kind of take a look at what's on your mortgage, if you have a mortgage, and how many years you have remaining on it. In addition, maybe you're looking at what your retirement goals are. What are those retirement goals, and how much do you want to earn or have in a bucket of money so that you can actually retire one day? Those might give you ideas about how much life insurance you should actually have on your life to be able to cover those future goals, those future expenses. But I want to also bring to hand, which a lot of people know when they work with us, it's something called the human life value. What's a human life value? Well, if you think of something where maybe someone predeceased their early age, maybe it was a wrongful death type of situation, and they are suing now an insurance company because maybe they were hit in a car accident and died. Scary to think about this, but do those things happen? They absolutely do. So if you know that to be true, and let's say it's a 40-year-old individual going to the working years of 65 to 67, that could be about a 25 to 27-year period of time, depending on what that 40-year-old individual is earning today. So let's say that individual is earning $100,000 today. And from an inflationary standpoint of 2%, how much money would that actually accumulate to for not being able to bring in that economic value back to the family, back to the core of, the economics of that family? That is another way that we like to look at life insurance, about how much should I own. So many times people just pick out of the sky, oh, I want $250,000 or I want $500,000. How scientific is that number? That number is not as scientific as you think. It's just, I've heard people tell me over the years, well, I'll pay off my mortgage. I'll make sure I have enough money saved for college education for my child. That's kind of what this is saying. I'll have, so many dollars set aside here just in the event that we want to pay off the house and want to make sure that the children go to school or pay off the debts. Well, what ends up happening is the life expenses that continue to happen even after that. What if the surviving spouse doesn't want to stay in the home and they want to move? Don't things get more and more expensive? So we need to base that calculation on something that's also increasing for inflation, because if you're making $100,000 today, in 27 years from now, you're not going to be making $100,000 to live off the same amount of income that you're living on today. You're probably going to be making $225,000 a year. So if we know that to be true, are we planning the right way? I'm sure you have questions about this. I really would like to encourage you to reach out at 619-640-2622 and find out what your human life value is. Take care.
The information provided in this show is for informational and educational purposes only. This show is not investment advice, nor is it intended to address the financial needs of any particular viewer. The opinions expressed on this show are not intended to be an endorsement of any particular investment strategy or service of any other kind. You must make an independent decision regarding investments or strategies mentioned throughout the show. Before acting on information in this show, you should consider whether it is suitable for your particular situation and strongly consider seeking advice from a financial advisor.